Shalom, everybody, and welcome to the YouTube channel of TorahTrue.com and RelatableTorah.com. I am your host, Rabbi Ben-Tzion Saloff, and I want to welcome you to the Testament of the Baal Shem Tov. That's the name of the series, and we are now in already class number 8. These are the fundamental and foundational principles of Chasidic philosophy and practice. We left off last time at, by the way, if you look underneath, you will see there are links for the texts, both in Hebrew and in English, and you can there's even a link for the Kindle text, so you can have an electronic version of the English text. Which would be very helpful for some people. I actually do most of my reading both in Hebrew and in English on my iPad. So for me, that would be very handy. I happen to, when I'm giving classes, I usually read from books because it's easier to have like multiple books open in front of me, but the electronic can be very handy. In any case, we left off last time finishing number 33, paragraph 33. We're now going on to paragraph 34. Any of you who have the Hebrew text, it's on page 14, Yud Daled. The English text, it is on page 19. Here we begin. Veda Ki kol teva hi koma shlema. You should know that every word that in your learning and in your Torah study is a complete construct. It's a complete. Koma means a building or a story or floor of a building. So it's a complete construct. V'tzarich liot kol kocho ba, and it is necessary that you put all your strength into this. Into each word. Ki im lav tieh kamo mechusar ever. Because if you don't, it will be like you are missing a limb. So if you have a complete body and you don't put all of your concentration, your focus, your strength into it, then you are going to be mechusar ever. You are going to be missing a limb from this body, so to speak. And we don't want to do that, obviously. Zehu chesed gadol. This is number 30. We're going on to number 35. Zehu chesed gadol me'Hashem yitbarach she'adam chai achar hatfilah. There is a great kindness from Hashem, blessed be He, that a person lives after tefillah. It's a very interesting concept. Let's pay attention. That a person lives after tefillah, after prayer. How could this be? Shelefi derech hateva, because according to the natural way of things, hayalo lamut mahmat shemafsid kocho batfilah. Because it would be the natural way of things that a person would die because they would expend all of their energy in tefillah. This is how important praying with concentration and energy is. Ki natan kochod batfilah, because the person should expend their strength in tefillah, kol kach, so much so, mikoch hakavana mikoach hakavanot hagdolot shehu mekaven. That because you're focusing so much on the meaning of what you're praying, whether it be the Kabbalistic kavanot, the Kabbalistic intentions, or just because you are focusing on the meaning, even though he doesn't say those words, it's certainly implied that if you are concentrating, you should be concentrating so deeply on your tefillah that you are expending your energy, and it's only a chesed, a great kindness from Hashem, from God, that you after this whole process, that you can live after expending so much energy. Now, obviously, this is something to aim for. This is something to strive towards. Not something that many people, or that all people certainly, are able to achieve. Okay, Lamed Vav. 1 second. There we go. פעמים יכול לומר התפילה במהירות מאוד, מחמת שבוער בליבו אהבת השם מאוד, והתיבות יוצאים מפיו מעצמם. So, there are different times, there are different ways, or levels, or grooves that we get into in our tefillah, where there are some times when we are able to say our tefillah, our prayers, very, very fast, because there really is boiling up in our hearts a flaming fire, so to speak, of love of Hashem. So the tevot, the words, they even come out on their own. They come out of their own strength, so to speak, without us expending extra effort. So then there are other times, which he's not saying here, but zed umat zed, one thing always balances off the other, when it is very difficult to pray, and it requires a great deal of focus and effort. It's not coming naturally. However, there are those times when it comes naturally and goes very quickly. Next, Lamed Zayin 37. Bitfila belachash, during the silent tefillah, the silent prayers, keshehu medabek atzmo lema'ala, when you bind yourself above, you attach yourself above, az zocher umalin oto yoter lemala be'ota tefillah. Then you merit to raise it up higher and higher during that tefillah. You know, to raise up your tefillah higher and higher, when you are medabek yourself, when you attach yourself above. Like our sages of blessed memory say, habali taher misayin oto, that when somebody comes before Hashem to purify himself, Hashem helps him. Meaning, you want to do the right thing, Hashem's going to help you to do the right thing. And through this tefillah where we are medabek ourselves above to Hashem, and through this we raise up our tefillah. So through this tefillah, we merit to even further bind our minds above, to be able to attach our minds to Hashem, or to higher, more godly levels. And through this power, it's kind of like a natural development. You go from one level to another level, and through doing this, the power of this process, you come to a much higher and greater level. Afilu shelo b'sha'at hatfilah, even after the time of tefillah, shehei davuk lemala, that you will be bound above. So, if you keep on being medabek yourself, to attaching yourself above during your tefillah, especially during the silent devotion, the Shemona Esrei, and you focus very, very powerfully on this, this will help you to attach your thoughts above more so, and so much so to the extent that you will then be able to have your mind attached above in a revealed way, even when it's not the time of tefillah, even when it's not the time of prayer. Okay, Lamed Het, the 38. Okay, so there are different ways of saying Tehillim, and any way that you say Tehillim, the Psalms, is good, and it accomplishes extraordinary things above. It's funny, before I begin this paragraph, I want to mention to you a conversation I had a couple of days ago with a very special Rav, somebody who is a tremendous Talmid Chacham, a tremendous Torah scholar, and I asked him a question regarding something that I had heard but could not find the source for, and it had something to do with Tehillim. So I said, Tehillim, is it considered in certain ways like learning Torah for this purpose, that purpose, whatever? It was kind of a little bit of a complicated question I asked, and he looked at me and said, "Oh, Tehillim," he said, just like Torah learning. Well, Tehillim, it's in and of itself, it is so high. It accomplishes such tremendous things. So he was saying, why do you need it? Basically, he was saying, why do you need it to be counted like Torah learning? Even though, of course, Tehillim is part of the Torah, it's part of the Tanakh, so it's counted as Torah learning to one extent, but it's so much more. The Tehillim, that you can accomplish so much in the world through Psalms, through Tehillim. So why do I mention that? So let's look at what the Baal Shem Tov says here, number 38. Lo yomar harbe Tehillim b'dveikut kodem hatfilah. You should not say too much Tehillim before you daven, before the specifically the Shemona Esrei, but in general, before you daven, before you pray, shelo yachlish gufo, so that you won't weaken your body. So obviously we can see that it's inferred that if you focus powerfully on your Tehillim, it can weaken you, because it takes a lot of energy when you're saying Tehillim with great dveikut. Velo yuchal achar kach lomar ha'ikar, and then you'll feel weakened, so you won't be able to afterwards say the essence of the tefillah, and be able to concentrate on the most essential parts of the tefillah. Rotzeh lomar chovot hayom. That is to say, the obligations of the day. We're obligated to pray certain number of times a day and during certain time periods, etc. Dahainu zmirot ukriyat shma tefillah. So, what is the obligations of the day? Those are the Psukei de Zimra, the sections leading up to the Kriyat Shema, then the Kriyat Shema itself, and then the Tefillah, the Shemona Esrei, the silent devotion. B'dveikut gadol. These should be with powerful attachment to Hashem. Dveikut gadol. Machmat shehifsid kocho kodem hatefillah b'shar dvarim. And you can't do that if you have wasted your strength. Not wasted. Waste is not a good word. That you have not spent your strength before the tefillah with other things. Rak tchila yomar ha'ikar b'dveikut. Rather, you should only say the essential parts with dveikut, with attachment. And attachment, obviously, is a very strong and powerful concentration of both mind and heart. V'imiteinu Hashem yitbarach od koach. And if Hashem then gives you further strength, Yamar Tehillim v'shir shirim b'dveikut. You can go on and say the Tehillim after the davening, the Tehillim and the shir shirim with dveikut, with attachment, great, powerful attachment. Shir shirim, by the way, the Song of Songs, which was written by Shlomo HaMelech, the son of David HaMelech, of King David. Shlomo Solomon was the wisest of all men, and he wrote Shir HaShirim, and it sounds like a love song between a man and a woman, and it is actually a love song between God and the Jewish people. And if you understand anything about the kavanot of Shir HaShirim, the inner meanings and focus of Shir HaShirim, it can really take, it's very rewarding and very deep, but it can take your strength. It can, be hifsid kocho. It can spend your energy. So, by the way, there many people have the tradition on Erev Shabbat to say the Shir HaShirim. I happen to have the custom of singing it with the trop on Erev Shabbat after, right before Mincha on Erev Shabbat. Other people do it between Mincha and Mariv, whatever. But in any case, fine. Now, Lamed Tet, 39. Okay. Oh, okay. So, going along with the same concept, the same process in mind, we go on to 39, which says, Kodem Ne'ilah B'Yom Kippurim, before the Ne'ilah prayer on Yom Kippur, which is the prayer right at the end of Yom Kippur. It's right before Yom Kippur ends and the big shofar blast, etc. So Kodem Ne'ilah B'Yom Kippurim, before Ne'ilah on Yom Kippur, Yomar Machzor B'Katnut. You should say the prayers before that without too much, strength, without too much focus, without a powerful focus. Kadesh yuchal achar kach litpalel ne'ilah b'dveikut. In order that you will have the strength and the focus and the ability to be able to pray ne'ilah, the final prayer service of Yom Kippur, b'dveikut, with attachment to Hashem. So there's another thing about saving your strength for the most essential parts of the prayers. Okay. The next one, number 40, I just want to make the following. Observation and mention that the Lubavitcher Rebbe used to always say that it's very important that you look inside your siddur when you're praying. Even when you're saying a bracha, you should look in the siddur. The Rebbe himself, even when he was saying an after bracha like Al Hamichya, he would open up the siddur to say it. Now, do you think that the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Alav Shalom, that he V'zecher Tzadik Livracha, do you think that he didn't know the bracha, that he had to look at it in the siddur? No, of course he knew it, but he wanted to show it's very important to look in the siddur when you're saying Divrei Kodesh. Now, the Baal Shem Tov here is saying, Keshadam b'madrega ktana, when a person feels that they're at a lower level, Az tov yoter litpaleh mitoch hasidur. Then it's best that he should daven inside the siddur, meaning be looking at the siddur when he's praying. Because from the power of being able to see these letters, mitpalel yoter bekavana, he is going to pray with greater concentration and power. Okay. Aval, however, keshuhu dabuk ba'olam halyon, but once he gets to the level where he's already attached to the supernal worlds, the upper worlds, az yoter tov liskor einav, then it's better he should close his eyes, kedei shelo yivatel oto hari'iyah miliot dabuk ba'olam halyon, in order that seeing things in this physical world, even the siddur, will not. He doesn't want to take the chance of that nullifying his being dabuk, his attachment to the upper worlds. Okay, Mem Aleph. Okay. Okay. This is interesting. I want to look at this also in English because of the wording. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So it says, Hanashama Amra, the Harav. So the Neshama told the Rav, meaning the Baal Shem Tov, Shema shezaka shenitgalu elav hadvarim ha'elyonim, because, or that he didn't deserve his revelations of supernal matters, Lo mipnei shelimed harbe mishas uposkim harbe, not because he learned so much in the Gemara and the different legal codifiers and all that. Rak mishum. It was only because, not because of these things, but because tefillah, shahaya mitpalel tamid bekavana gdola, because he always prayed with a powerful kavanah, powerful focus. Misham zaka lema'ala lyona, and from there he merited to a very high level. So the Baal Shem Tov is saying, what is it that caused him and would cause anyone to have high spiritual levels? It's not, the main thing is not their learning. Is the main thing is their tefillah, their prayer, and attaching themselves to Hashem as far as reaching higher levels. It's interesting because Rabbi Nachman Mibreslov, the great grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, and a very holy and great Rabbi Tzaddik himself, said that he said a couple of things on the subject. He said that he merited his very high level to his hitbodedut, and hitbodedut is basically personal prayer. You seclude yourself with Hashem, and you speak to Hashem. And he said that he credited his extraordinary spiritual levels to that. And number two, he said that nobody reaches high spiritual levels without hitbodedut, without connection, secluded connection and prayer and talking to Hashem. It's a very, he's making a very extreme statement, but that is what he said. And Rabbi Nachman was known to be an extraordinary level. There was actually a fight between Rabbi Nachman and his uncle who was the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Baruch, and Rabbi Baruch actually tried to kill Rabbi Nachman, to throw him off a porch. And why? Because Rabbi Nachman, and he was just a young man, really. I don't know exactly how old, probably late teens, early 20s. And he told his uncle, I have far surpassed the Zeta in levels. Meaning he was basically saying he's much higher, he's much greater than the Baal Shem Tov. Now, I mean, normally a person who is a tzaddik, there is somebody who's very humble. So this was not a lack of humility. It was just a statement that according to his perception, his understanding, he was at a higher spiritual level than the Baal Shem Tov. There are those who would disagree with this, but in any case, and of course his uncle, Rabbi Baruch, disagreed to the extent that he tried to throw him off a balcony, and he was only saved by his mother, who argued with her brother and told him not to do that. But in any case, the way to get to a high level spiritually, and hopefully not to get thrown off a balcony, is to do hitbodedut. Always be secluding yourself, even if it's not it should be a physical seclusion to one degree or another, but even if it's not, you can seclude yourself out in the open with Hashem. Meaning, you can be out in a physical place where there are many people around, yet you can seclude your mind, your focus and concentration with Hashem. And this is also hitbodedut. Of course, it's easier for most people, normal people, to, of course, be mitboded, to seclude themselves with Hashem when they're physically secluded, away from everything. That's why you'll find a lot of Breslovers, these are the followers of Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, out in the fields, out in the woods, whatever it is, secluding themselves with Hashem and praying and talking to Hashem. Okay, Mem Beit 42, and we're just about at the end of our time, so we will finish Mem Beit, and we will that will be it for today's class. Yachshov kodem atfila shu muchan lamut be'ota tefila. You should think before praying that you are ready to die through this tefillah, through this prayer service. Machmat hakavana, because you will be putting so much kavanah, so much focus and attention to the prayers. V'yesh mekavnim kol kach ad shepamim b'teva hayayach lamut beveit o v'gimel tevot. And there are those who focus so much that at times, according to the natural way of things, they really should be able to die after 2 or 3 words, that they're just focusing so intensely. Shomer lefanav yitbarach, words that they say before Hashem, blessed be He. Uchsheyachshov kach yomar b'libo, and when you think like that, you should say in your heart, meaning to say in your heart obviously means you should think, you should reflect. Lama li'eza pniya v'gava be'otat tefillah. Why do I have this what's the word? Pniya is like a ulterior motive. Why do I have some ulterior motive or gava or excessive pride in this tefillah, in this prayer? Kevan shebadato afilu lamut achar beit v'gimel tavot, since in his mind, he's even going to die after 2 or 3 tevot, 2 or 3 words. Ube'emet shehu chesed gadol sheHashem yitbarach noten lo koach u'mashlim atfilah v'hu chai. And really, it's a great chesed, it's a great kindness from Hashem, blessed be He, that he gives he gives the person the strength that they should be able to finish the prayer service, and they will live. So the Baal Shem Tov is telling you that your focus and the strength of your concentration in your prayers should be so great that it could bring you to klot hanefesh, to actually expiring because of the concentration. And the reason that you wouldn't expire is because of the kindness of Hashem, and He wants you to continue to serve Him. This is the place where we should be focusing, trying to, or aiming towards. So that brings us to the end of today's class. I want to thank you all for coming, and I hope you have enjoyed and benefited from the class. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell your friends, relatives, co-workers, anybody you think might enjoy and or benefit from our classes to come and take a look. And that is where we are today. Thank you for coming once again. I look forward to us getting together again very soon. May Hashem bless you with good health, happiness, and success until we meet again. Shalom, and God bless.